Kellyanne Conway is still furious about the way that Nancy Pelosi allegedly treated her on Wednesday afternoon when Donald Trump refused to talk to Nancy Pelosi, and instead Kellyanne Conway offered up her services. And according to reports, Nancy Pelosi said, "I don't speak to staff, I speak to the president." Well, on Thursday, Kellyanne was still furious about the way that Nancy Pelosi treated her. So she went on Fox News to let the world know how angry she still is. Here's the clip.
Ready.
Let's just back
and
up.
so then Speaker Pelosi, nobody's reported this yet, so I'll give you some color. Then Speaker Pelosi went on and launched into some odd self-curated history of infrastructure in our country. She talked about Thomas Jefferson, then she got to Teddy Roosevelt. And so when she was finished, I said, respectfully, Madam Speaker, would you like to address some of the specifics the president talked about? And she said, I talk to the president, I don't talk to staff. Because let's face it, she's the sixth most rich member of Congress. She treats everybody like they're her staff. She treats me like I'm either her maid or her driver or her pilot or her makeup artist, and I'm not. And I said to her, how very pro-woman of you, per usual, because she's not very pro-woman. She's pro-some woman.
All right, now let's get something straight. I know yesterday I had said that I did not 100% agree with the way Pelosi said that to Kellyanne Conway. I had said yesterday that it would have been better for her to say something to the effect of, hey, I don't talk to liars. I don't talk to people with alternative facts, so please leave me be. But instead, she said, I don't talk to the staff, I talk to the president. And to me, that came across as a little bit elitist, so I can see that point to a degree. But the more I've sat here for the last 24 hours, kind of stewed on it a little bit, like, hell yeah, why shouldn't Pelosi act that way to Kellyanne Conway? She's a horrible human being. She lies for a living. And let's not forget, Nancy Pelosi is third in line to be the president of the United States. She is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I would say, and give her a little bit more leeway than another person, that, yeah, I guess she is entitled to a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of elitism there. So, good on Pelosi. Stand up to Kellyanne Conway. But Kellyanne Conway doesn't see it that way. Kellyanne Conway 100% sees herself on the same level as Nancy Pelosi. Kellyanne Conway, who just 2.5 short years ago, nobody in this country gave a damn about her. Nobody even knew who she was. Suddenly acting like she is on the same level as Nancy Pelosi? Now, I don't care what your opinions are of Nancy Pelosi. Maybe you think she's a weak leader. Maybe you just hate all Democrats, whatever it is. Kellyanne Conway is not on her level. And Nancy Pelosi does, in fact, deserve respect. She has had a long, mostly successful career. Kellyanne Conway lies for money. They're not even close to being on the same level. So yeah, if Pelosi gets a little snippy with Conway, I'd say that Kellyanne Conway deserves it. But again, Kellyanne doesn't see it that way. She believes that Pelosi was speaking to her as if she were speaking to a maid. And then, this is one of the most disgusting parts in the full clip, she goes on to mention the fact that Nancy Pelosi is the 8th richest member of the House of Representatives. And so she thinks she's an elitist. Listen, Kellyanne, you can't, knowing who you work for, say that somebody else is an elitist because they make a lot of money. All right? Please don't forget the fact that your boss has a golden toilet. It doesn't get more elitist than that. So before you think about calling somebody else out for having money, just remember the fact that at least back when he was in Trump Tower, I don't know if he's moved it to the White House or not, this man would wake up in the morning and go sit on 24-karat gold to do his morning business. And that is about as elitist as you can get. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.